about that.
Before I went into the Navy, I had different opinions. I mean, I knew his political life. He switched from Tories to Liberals, ran in England, ran in Scotland. He was an opportunist. But then a lot of them are. I mean, Nelson Mandela was also an opportunist. I was surprised that people who know that. Yeah, no, Churchill was, and the greats. Yeah, no, I kind of, he did. I suppose he did some good. You know, they tell me he was a good painter, good bricklayer, but didn't have a good idea in his head. He was an imperialist. He was a swashbuckling guy. Wanted to, and he proved it in the Dardanelles, and he proved it in the war. And he, I always remember reading. I was over here by then. I always remember reading that when the king died, King George VI, and Queen Elizabeth Princess Elizabeth had to come back. He made a statement. He says, "We have a revival of the Elizabethan age, the great mercantile age." Well, it was a great mercantile age of Queen Elizabeth. You know, Walter Raleigh and these people, they discovered the colonies and everything else. Fought Sir Francis Drake. So Churchill saw another Elizabeth, another imperial. Yeah. He lived altogether in the past. Altogether in the past. Now I have very strong views about him. But then, he's not doing me any harm. He did a lot of harm as a politician before the war. He's not doing it. He did a lot of and he continued on with the Labour programs after the war. He had to, you know, he had to keep the national health. But you see, I'm not the only one who feels that way. It was the services vote that defeated Winston Churchill in 1945. He was the Prime Minister of a coalition. He was never elected Prime Minister during the war. And when the war ended and we got back to normal elections, he was wiped out. And the reason he was wiped out is because people like me were voting for the first time, who had heard about him and knew about him before the war. And that's why he got defeated. They always say, why did the forces turn on Churchill? Well, the forces never turned on Churchill. They turned on his ideas. And as a plagiarist too, you know. He was given credit for all sorts of things during the war in great sense, and he plagiarized everything. But he admitted it. During the war, you know, we had newspaper magnates, Lord Beaverbrook, who ran the Daily Express, and Lord Kemsley, who ran all the Daily Records and all the rest of it. And Churchill had both of them in his publicity committee. So all of the newspapers in Britain were being aborted by these two guys. And even at the time of the abdication, prior to the abdication, the British people didn't know anything about King Edward, about the Prince of Wales and Mrs. Simpson, while the people in America and all over the world knew about it for a year, because we censored the news coming in, and Churchill was responsible for that. No, he was an opportunist.